being followed by quite a large convoy of fish. We've got our lovely eagle ray here following them pretty intently, making her way towards Teresa. Teresa can't see, she doesn't have eyes in the back of her head, but it looks like our eagle ray is about to touch down on the back of her air tank, or maybe her leg, or maybe she's just going for the bucket. Now our lovely eagle ray here is very gentle. She does still have her barb, but it's quite small. And they only use that to defend themselves. So because Teresa is just feeding today, they don't feel very threatened. They just kind of pester her for food. Unfortunately for our eagle ray, her mouth is on the bottom, her eyes are on top. She has no idea where the food is. So she does tend to just suck down onto the divers every now and then. So you do try to shove the food into her mouth before she gets onto you. We've got a lovely leopard shark coming in for some squid, one of their favourite foods. And as we can see, Nick today is just observing. We've got Kate up the back, she's holding a guide pole. So this guide pole, kind of a boring job I guess. You're like the eyes for Teresa. She's watching all the sharks to make sure they stay away. Now these guys aren't aggressive at all, but they've got food, there's 5 of them, they've got teeth. So we hold up this guide pole because that's not where they get fed. They actually get fed from the surface. So she's holding the guide pole. When the lovely sharks come a little bit close, they get curious sometimes. She just holds it up to their eyes, she doesn't hit them or anything like that. They see a bit different to us because their eyes are on the side. So that pole looks like a white wall, they just turn away. Now they're not aggressive at all, but if you've got your head in a bucket trying to pick out a nice bit of squid or something for Leo the leopard shark and you look up, you've got a big 3-metre shark in your face, might make you a little bit awkward. So we just want to make sure we know where they are at all times. As you can see, our leopard sharks are being followed at the moment by a lot of golden trevally. So it's either Lockie or Lorraine, I don't really know. She's coming up the back of Teresa at the moment, and she's got heaps of fish following her around. This is because our leopard sharks and our rays, really sloppy eaters. They'll drop their food everywhere. So the fish, they're quite smart. They actually are capable of learning. These guys will follow the shark around. When she drops a little bit of food, they just sweep in and steal it. Sometimes they steal it out of their mouth too, which is quite entertaining. Nick's having a great time. He can see us. Give him a wave. Here comes Leo, our leopard shark now. He's slightly larger than the others. An interesting thing about these guys, they start off black and white and stripy. When they get a bit older though, give him a little bit of a tickle, there we go. When they get a little bit older, they develop these lovely spots. And we haven't seen anything from Mr. G yet. Oh, he's still asleep. We've got Mitchell up the back, but he doesn't seem too interested today. As I mentioned, he's probably asleep. Most of the time he's asleep. We've got some pink snapper for anyone who enjoys eating fish. Anyone like snapper? Pretty tasty. Yeah, a few hands. These guys are really tasty, but they're kind of unfriendly. They've got pretty big teeth. They're a little bit like the bullies of the tank, and they're very fast. So we need to target feed our larger animals, like our rays and some of our smaller sharks, because the fish will actually outcompete them for food. If we just chuck the food in there, those fish are so quick, they'll take all the food and our other animals will miss out. So that's why we need to hand feed them. Often when we try to feed them, the fish will just try and steal their food. There we go, that was a good example just there with our Australian salmon trying to take our leopard shark's food. And down the bottom we've got some lovely little fiddler rays. They're also known as banjo sharks in some cases, but they're actually a ray. They do have a tail like a shark, their mouth and gills are underneath, just like a ray, so that's how we can tell the difference. They don't have a barb or anything like that, they do hang out underneath our divers' feet a little. And they like to get a little bit of food down there, so I'll have some whiting probably. Leo's coming in for, I don't even know what that was, but you'll notice his food is escaping out of his gills and those fish are just eating it as it slips out. One of our smooth rays has come over for some attention, but I think she's learned that she's got to get denied, so she just turned away. Our leopard sharks are pretty keen today. Looks like Mr. G isn't awake yet. We'll wait. Who else have we got swimming around today that we don't usually see? We've got our lovely pink snappers still. Got to watch out for those. Our divers have these nice black gloves on, but underneath they actually have chainmail gloves, and that's to protect them from any fish bites. So sometimes our snapper, they've got quite large teeth and they're really fast. They'll sneak in and try and steal some of the food. Nick's having a pretty good time with our leopard sharks today. As you can see, they're very placid, and they're a tropical species, so if you go swimming, say up in Thailand, or along the Great Barrier Reef, maybe you might see these guys swimming around. They grow to around about 2.5 metres, like Leo up here, and as you can see, they're pretty friendly. Our sandbar whalers are just keeping to themselves today, which is a good thing, because they're only fed from the surface. So it looks like Teresa's got her work cut out for it anyway. We've got lots of fish. These schooling fish, the silver ones, they usually As you can see, they're quite fast, so they like to come down and steal a bit of food. If you don't guard your bucket closely enough, sometimes they'll actually help themselves by sticking their face in there and taking some of the food.